Ahoy, ahoy, neighbourinos, and welcome back, finally, to 742 Evergreen Terrace, the Simpsons podcast. It's been a long time coming, but finally, we are up here, back with episode 8, The Telltale Head. Roll the intro.
Is it episode 8? Or is it?
Go!
Ay, caramba!
Doing everyone solo.
Go on.
Is it episode 8 or is it episode 7.5 or...
It's episode 8.
Yes, it is episode 8, yes.
Do you know something I don't know?
No.
No? You sure? You got me worried now.
No,
You're going to
sure.
come up with some sort of fact and I'm like, I didn't know that. Oh, crap.
No, it's definitely episode 8.
Okay, there you go. Confirmed. Tom approved. Episode 8. Roll the intro.
Why do people run from me?
I am smart. S-M-R-T. I mean S-M-A-R-T.
Eat my shorts.
Where nothing can possibly go wrong. Homer, I gotta go upstairs. There's a problem. Somebody ate part of my lunch.
They taste like burning.
You don't have to be careful. I got a gun.
Ay, caramba!
Why, you could wake up dead tomorrow.
Well, I'm taking nap, and the other day I was a little affected in your house.
And I, for one, welcome our new insect overlords.
Okay, get up. Not the last time you'll slap your willy out. Ow! Oh, they're defending themselves somehow. Brandishing your buttocks is only getting me angrier.
I want to see what's going on!
No, Mother, don't look out the window!
Feels like I'm wearing nothing at all. Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
Stupid sexy slander! You're not that willy. Good advice.
No one who speaks German could be an evil man.
Yeah, you're like pina colada and getting caught in the rain.
Stop! He's already dead.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 742 Evergreen Terrace. As I said, it is finally time for episode 8, The Telltale Head, which was first aired on the 25th of February, 1990. Can we confirm that? Because we did have some confusion with our last episode, didn't we?
Yes, we can confirm.
Yeah, like we had two different dates. But yeah, I still don't know what happened. with that
We're
one.
recording this in February as well.
Oh yeah. Wow, it's literally 34 years ago
Almost.
in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But by the time this comes out, I'm sure that probably would have already gone.
Yeah.
The chalkboard gag says, I did not see Elvis.
Before you get to the episode, we're going to do this day,
Oh yeah.
this week
I forgot
in
about
history. In
that. Yes,
Simpsons
sorry, I
history.
forgot about that section. It's been so long since we've
It's
recorded
been
an
a long
episode.
time.
I have forgotten
Time.
all of the segments. My apologies. Yes, Tom.
That's all right.
Go ahead.
No problem. It's been a long time since we've done this. So the week of 25th of February 1990.
Okay.
Very newsworthy week.
Oh, okay.
No,
Quiet.
not really. So I apologise for any Spanish
Uh-oh.
viewers
You're going to tackle some Spanish.
at my butchering of this name, but I will try. Violeta Barrios de Gennaro.
Oh, yeah. Gennaro.
Yes. She would become, in this week, the first female president of a Central American country.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you being the historian you are, Richard, you'll be able to tell me which Central American country that was. First ever female president of a Central American country.
Honduras.
No.
Panama.
Could be here all day, couldn't we? Panama. It's not Panama. Either.
Last one, just because I like saying it.
Oh.
Nicaragua.
Unbelievable, you've done it.
No way.
With the third guess, Nicaragua.
Cool.
Correct.
I just like saying it. That's
Yep.
good.
In this
Awesome.
week in 1990. So that's, I'm sure a lot of people will be happy about that.
Good on her.
First women president of a Central American country.
If you're from Nicaragua, let us know if she was a good leader or not.
We'll move on to a more exciting thing.
Okay.
Music.
Ooh.
big week for music in
1990.
this week in 1990. You may recall on episode 5, Bart the General.
Mm-hmm.
It was the first time I ever did this gimmick.
Yep.
And number one UK single that week was Sinead O'Connor with Nothing Compares to You.
Okay.
At the time I wrote this, which was how many months ago? 3 or 4?
I think the last episode came out in like end of September, beginning of October,
So
something like
at
that.
the time
yeah.
I wrote this script, she had recently died.
Okay.
So it was pretty apt if we recorded it then, but we didn't.
So it kind of makes no sense either way, right?
No.
It's not in time.
No, but yeah, so Sinead O'Connor was number one that week, and she would continue to be number one with that song until this very day,
Oh, okay.
when she would be replaced 4 weeks in total for Sinead O'Connor,
Mm-hmm.
where she would be replaced by Beats International, Don't Be Good to Me. You heard that one?
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't remember it, so I listened to it and I was like, oh yeah, I do remember it. And I think that was pretty much all they did.
I'm pretty sure that's the song I'm thinking of, right? Just be good to me.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Beats International was the brainchild of Norman Cook. Also, this week was the Grammy Awards,
Okay.
which is coming up soon as well.
Yeah.
America.
Maybe
Taylor
in the
Swift
next couple
nominated
of
for all
weeks,
the awards.
Yeah.
Best opera, best metal, whatever it is.
Yep,
Doesn't matter. She's nominated.
Basically gonna smash all the records, isn't
Yeah,
she?
and she's going to win the Super Bowl
And
as
she's gonna win
well.
the Super Bowl, yeah.
This is going to
It's
age
going to be a
badly.
good month for her.
She's going to win the Grammys, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's not going to age badly. Whether she wins the Super Bowl or not, might do.
I think she probably will.
That's the script, isn't it?
They were saying it's a shame that the Detroit Lions didn't get through because it would have been Taylor Swift versus Eminem.
Okay.
That would have been a good. That would have been a good Super Bowl final.
Interesting. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, Detroit Lions they never won the Super Bowl.
No, never been in the Super Bowl.
One of 4 teams never go to one either. The Grammy Awards took place this week in 1990.
Right.
Have you heard of Bonnie Raitt?
Doesn't ring a bell.
No. She was the big winner on this night with 4 Grammy Awards.
Okay.
The 2 most interesting things I would say is the first one is slightly a bit of a Metal Marmite crossover here.
Oh.
Because Metallica would win Best Metal Performance
Okay.
for 1 on this night
Mm-hmm.
in 1990, which we'll be covering on the next episode of Metal Marmite. But the most interesting fact from the Grammy Awards was the Best New Act winner,
Okay.
which was won by Milli Vanilli.
Ah, that's this year, is it? Right. Okay.
Yep, they won Best New Act in 1990 in February,
Mm-hmm.
but the award was stripped of them
Yeah.
in November when their deception was unveiled.
Deceit.
The deceit, the lies. For the younger viewers, Milli Vanilli did not actually sing their songs. They had people singing for them.
Yeah.
And they were just the face.
They were just the face.
The face
Yeah.
of the act, basically. The 2 brothers? Maybe, I think they were 2 brothers, weren't they?
And they looked alike if
They're-
they weren't.
yeah.
They were basically models, weren't they? They
Yeah,
were basically
model
what they were,
looks, yeah. And, they were faking. Naughty fakers. So I believe that's the first time that's ever happened, I think.
I think it's the only time it's ever happened.
That someone
isn't it?
has to give their award back because they were
For
faking.
that reason,
They're
at
faking
least,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, so there you go. Milli Vanilli will probably not be brought up again in The Simpsons lore, unless they were in The Simpsons episode. I do not
I don't think so.
know of.
But most important question about the Grammys, though,
Or
is who won Best Barbershop Quartet or Spoken Word that year?
And the Grammy for Outstanding Soul, Spoken Word, or Barbershop Album of the Year goes to the B Sharps!
has to be the B sharp, surely.
Oh, it's just a Grammy.
Oh. I'll
Well,
throw your jug down here.
great episode.
Yeah, I don't know if they were at that Grammy Awards. Maybe they were.
I'm telling you, it's mighty nice. Each trip's a trip to paradise with my baby on board.
That's a Grammy Award winning song if I've ever heard it.
You know it, right? Damn straight. Taylor Swift, eat your heart out. Well, thank you very much, Tom, for that.
That's okay.
Trip down memory lane. So on to the episode where, yes, as I said, the chalkboard gag says, I did not see Elvis. And the couch gag, we're right back round to Bart being popped off again. So we've come full circle, basically.
Yeah, I mean, I did not see Elvis. Like, what's he been telling teachers he has been seeing Elvis? And
I'm guessing this is that, like, it's the whole joke of, like, Elvis is alive.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he wouldn't be now. Like, so, we can be pretty safe in assuming that Elvis is dead now, I think.
Never know. Never say never.
I mean, Elvis is not dead. Elvis just went home. The Did You Know for this episode, Tom? Bart's speech at the end of the episode was forced into this episode as the FCC's 1989 ruling dictated that all animated shows must contain at least 28 seconds of educational content. So that is the whole reason for the end of this episode, apparently.
Wow. Okay.
Interesting, right?
I mean, I thought the whole episode as a whole was supposed to be educational, right? In a sort of way, if you think about the story of it.
I mean, I guess, yeah, but then they really ham it up right at the end, where he's like, I've learnt my lesson, and, if you can find it in your hearts to forgive me, and, yeah.
I mean, it kind of works with him, because he's trying to convince all the rioters not to kill him.
Spoilers?
This child.
Well, we'll get to that when we get to the end of the episode. I got some things to say about that as well. So,
I'm sure you most certainly do.
Yeah, there's some stuff to say. Unusually, we open the episode at the end of the episode.
Bizarre.
With Homer and Bart returning the head and being chased down by the mob. Homer says, "We'll die together like a father and son should."
Well, I guess that's kind of nice, though. In a weird, sadistic sort of way, I guess.
I thought that was a good line. Good way to kick. Yeah, but very odd that we kick off the episode at the end. So, it's obviously probably not the first time that's ever happened. It probably won't be the last time it ever happens either. It definitely wasn't the last time it ever happened. But I think it's the only time I've ever seen it in a Simpsons episode. I don't think they've ever...
Did you hear the phrase that Homer uses to describe Bart's wrongdoings?
Remind me.
Pulled a few boners in my time.
Again, used to be a very acceptable turn of phrase. Very much not now. Has a completely different connotation.
What, in this country or just America? Or...
in America. I mean,
Right.
I heard it on TV quite a lot, like, oh, what a boner that was and stuff like that,
Just a product of the times, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
It's very different now. I don't think that anyone uses that phrase anymore. Maybe they do, like boomers and stuff like that. Older generation, they might. Who knows? I'm not sure. But, yeah.
I'd also, as part, point out that part of this angry mob is Grandpa
Yeah.
and Patty and Selma.
But to be fair, Patty and Selma, I don't think they really like Homer and Bart.
Nah.
And Grandpa's been a part of, like, every angry mob. He just loves to mob. He loves to riot, doesn't he? So
He's a bit senile, isn't he?
yeah, but he just likes to get down and dirty in the mud, doesn't he? He's up for everything, basically, Grandpa. Moving on, Bart begins to tell the story of how he cut the head off, and that's the framing of the episode. Yeah, so we move on to the start of the day before, I'm guessing.
Yes.
It seems. I think it's the day before, isn't it? So
Yes.
where Bart is getting a pat down before church from Marge.
Who's very rude in this scene.
Very rude.
She says the word "but."
Does she?
Yes, she does.
as in, but that's not the way to do it, or
No, as in
derriere.
As in derriere, yeah.
Remember that. My question to you, though, Tom, is what does she pull out of his pockets?
Catapult, right?
I've got a list here. Can you name all the items?
Yeah, a catapult.
Yep, slingshot. Yep.
Radioactive Man magazine.
Yep.
Is there something else?
A set of dice.
Set of dice.
Yeah,
okay.
for gambling reasons. So.
Okay.
But well done, though. You've obviously made notes. So you're getting in my mind
I'm
now.
a professional.
You're getting in my mind.
Simpsons
You know
podcaster.
that where these questions are going to come from, and you're starting to outthink me. Oh, okay. I've got another one later on. Maybe that might trip you off a little bit. So, Bart is listening to a Walkman as they are walking into the church. Marge takes it off of him and gives it to Homer.
Bart's listening to some heavy rock music.
It's pretty generic sounding.
No.
90s, rock, like heavy, like hard
There's
guitars,
nothing generic
and
about
drums and
rock music.
it's super generic. Come on, man. That's like the beginning of Black or White by Michael Jackson. Just the hey, turn it down. No, Dad, this is the best part. Come on. Yeah, it's just like generic. This is what the kids are into. Kids love this kind of music. That's what they're all about. The kids, start getting traumatized by the Sunday school teacher. But we cut.
You missed Homer's story out completely.
No, we haven't. But we cut back to
you're
Marge
to
and Homer in the church. And Homer is deciding to listen to the football game that Marge dragged him away from back at the house to go to
the one
church.
that he's got $50 riding on.
He's got $50 riding on it. But he's listening to it on a Walkman. I didn't know Walkmans could do that.
In the church.
Yeah.
Where he's sitting next to Marge.
Yeah. So she's
completely oblivious.
She noticed that Bart had the headphones in. Bearing in mind that this is the 90s, so headphones are not inconspicuous. They're big foam things that you stick to the side of your head. They're not very good for anyone. Like, you listening on them, the sound quality is not great. But also, everyone can hear your music. They don't close in around your ears.
No, it depends how loud he was listening to.
But they just pump sound everywhere. Like, they're not like earpods that you put in. They're not like beats that go out and surround the side of your ears or anything. No, you just plonk them on your head and it just pumps sound and everyone can hear everywhere. But my point is that my Walkman could never pick up the radio. It just played cassettes. How does his Walkman do that?
Don't know. I wasn't around. I wasn't around.
You wasn't around in the 90s. Shut up. Yes, you were.
No, I can't remember 1990 though. I'm too young.
You remember having a Walkman though, right?
Yeah.
So it would have been later than 1990. So it would have been better technology. Did your Walkman get the radio?
I don't remember. I definitely had a cassette player, but I don't think I had radio on it.
I wrote down here that this is a joke I was sure was from a later Simpsons series. I was certain that this joke was from a later series. It's an excellent Simpsons gag where the game commentary is tied in perfectly with Reverend Lovejoy's movements.
Yeah.
And can't get enough. That wonderful duff.
Yeah, it's a pretty good scene, yeah, definitely.
Today is Sunday, the Lord's Day, and yet at this very moment, millions of Americans are not in the Lord's house. They're in their own house, worshiping a false idol, professional football. Oh, Lord!
It's a beautiful Sunday. Perfect football weather for this incredible game. And by the way, this game is being brought to you by the good people at Duff Beer. You can't get enough of that wonderful Duff. Now, they're lining up for this crucial kick. One final tick of the clock remains. If they win, it will cap an amazing comeback. But it's a 49-yard field goal into the wind.
Make it.
The kick is up.
Oh, please.
Holy Toledo, it's good!
It's good!
I could have sworn this came from a much later series. Like, I would have said series 3, series 4, somewhere. To be in the first series, this was a great great joke. I thought, it's good! It's good! I thought it was brilliant. The commentary was all tying in with his moves, and then you get the gag of Homer just screaming out, like in church, it's good. And Reverend Lovejoy's like, I'm sure I reached you today. I'm glad I struck a nerve with you today. When he was actually talking about not gambling and not paying attention to football on a Sunday. So he's basically stating what Marge is saying, that we shouldn't be doing that on the Lord's Day. And Homer's like, oh man, I just want to watch football and put some money on the game. But yeah, funny gag.
He just wants to live his life, man.
Yeah, man.
Come on.
Funny gag. I'm very impressed with this gag. I love this joke.
Indeed.
Flick back to the kids, and they have now flipped the script. So rather than being traumatized by the teacher is now being traumatized by them as they ask inane questions about what goes to heaven and what doesn't.
Yeah, if you have your leg amputated, will it go to heaven with you?
Will it be waiting there for you? Yeah.
Yeah. Monkeys can't go to heaven.
Monkeys can't go to heaven. Yeah, that's a conversation I have in the car, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Marge is seeming and sounding more like her usual self in the car ride home. This is the aforementioned car ride that we were just talking about.
She was very unhappy.
Yeah.
Homer, not for the first time.
Preachy and judgy, a little bit more
last time.
Involved. Yeah, but I mean, I would say that obviously, a few episodes back, she was the one that was like getting drunk and telling Homer, chill out, everything's fine, don't worry about it, it's all good. And,
I mean, she was to the church, though, when she got drunk,
No, but, they were at his boss's house, who they know has a history of just firing people on a whim. So,
yeah, true.
It's, she's just sounding a little bit more like her usual self here, I think, the, preachy, judgy type of person that she is. But yeah, and then Bart's saying that, monkeys don't go to heaven, and Homer's saying, I understand those wild savages.
Cute little monkeys?
Yeah. What about but I understand the savages don't, but what about the cute little ones that we've taught to ride motorcycles and stuff?
They should go. Yeah, absolutely.
During the car ride, Bart sees an advert for a film at the cinema. Which film is it?
Space Mutants 4.
What's the tagline?
The trilogy continues.
Yeah.
Just got to laugh at me.
Brilliant. The inspiration for Kang and Kodos, I would say.
Yeah. The aliens in this film are very similar looking to Kang and Kodos.
You can see that the Simpsons creators only know how to draw one type of alien.
Green ones.
Yeah. Green, multiple tentacled aliens. Marge says that he is not allowed to go and see that film because it's too old, too scary, any of the above. I am a killjoy, basically.
Probably some nude stuff in it as well.
Probably, yeah. I mean, the scene we see, the teenagers are making out in the car. Come on, baby, it's okay. Come on.
Only $5 to see the movie, though. That's pretty good.
1990s money, mate. That's why,
Yeah.
You to go and see a film for £5, you got enough money for popcorn and a drink. Not having to choose between one or the other these days, How much is it? £50? Jesus Christ. Bart borrows said $5 from Homer to go and watch the film. But Homer knows what he's up to, but thinks, kids should be kids. The little rapscallion. Go and have fun, I say, I mean, Bart does say perish the thought, but I think Homer knows what's going on here, right?
Yeah, I mean, we also get some nudity here, which is most,
implied
not needed
nudity. We don't see anything, not like the Simpsons movie, where you do actually see something.
Yes.
This is more implied nudity, So, as Bart's getting changed out of his church clothes, makes a fantastic dismount out of his window, I would say. So, boy's got some skills. He probably should have been a pro skateboarder. Tony Hawk, eat your heart out. Bart arrives at the cinema in less Tony Hawk style, bumping into a lamppost, where Jimbo, Kearney, and Dolph I don't think
Dolph Ziggler.
I don't think I ever knew that kid's name for some reason.
Dolph.
Dolph.
Yeah.
Never thought his name
Not
was
a very
Dolph.
common name.
No. Like, I don't know what I thought his name was, but I would not have said Dolph in a million years, but they're all sneaking into the film. No Nelson yet, though.
No.
Nelson's not part of this bully group
He's
yet.
still licking his wounds from his defeat.
Defeat, yeah. He's not allowed to bully Bart at the moment, is he?
No,
So,
he's very uncool at the moment, Nelson.
Yeah, because he got defeated.
He needs to redeem himself.
That's why Bart's so popular, because he won a war against Nelson. Jimbo's voice. Dude. It's,
Didn't hurt.
Oh, yeah? Well, do it again.
Nah, might land on my face and end up looking like you.
You little punk. Hey, man, leave the kid alone. I like him.
I don't think I've written anything down for that.
So Jimbo's voice is basically... so the voice that Jimbo will have in the future, Dolph has right now.
Right.
Jimbo's got the more, hey, I like him. Leave the kid alone. You know? He's cool, man. Yeah. You know, rather than the, oh, my shirt's chafing me, man. You know? So they sneak into the cinema and they start making a ruckus during the film, and they get themselves kicked out by making fart noises. They then head to the Quickie Mart, and as Bart buys squishy for the others, they all start shoplifting. But yeah, so they start shoplifting.
Is this the first glimpse of a poo?
It's not the first glimpse of a poo. We have seen
him before.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if it's the first mention of squishies or not, though, because I don't remember
possibly
hearing about squishies before. But yeah, but basically they all shoplift.
But he saw them because he's got eyes in the back of his head.
He's got eyes in the back of his head, yeah. Don't even think about it. They walk through town and they start throwing rocks at Jedediah Springfield's statue before being...
The disrespect.
Right. Oh, filthy. Before being chased off by Homer, basically.
Some random dude.
Who can only say, hey, you! Hey, you! He says it. It's just ADR voice, just replayed. Just, loop that, that's great.
Do you know what this reminded me of?
What?
You know The Room?
Yeah.
When Lisa and Mark are making out in the lounge.
Okay.
And the random dude walks in and is like, hey, don't do that.
Oh, yeah.
You're
gonna break his heart.
Break his heart.
Yeah.
And it's like, who are
you?
Who's this guy we've never seen before in the whole movie?
Yeah. Keep your stupid
comments in your pocket.
Yeah.
I'm so fed up with this world. That's what this character reminded me of.
He's supposed to be like, he's either a barber or like he runs the ice cream.
It's a vet shop, isn't it?
Was it a vet shop?
A pet shop, sorry.
Oh, wow.
Something like that, yeah.
After being chased off, they go and stare at clouds.
Oh, how nice. Yeah.
Aww.
See, they do have a heart.
Bullies have
these bullies,
soft spots.
These
too.
thugs.
They start seeing different kinds of shapes in the clouds.
Yes.
You know, guy with a switchblade in his back. Oh, a cherry bomb.
Yeah, a school bus with a flaming school bus.
Flaming school bus going off a bridge.
Kids
or
inside screaming.
Yeah. Oh,
very imaginative.
Lovely imagery here.
Yeah,
you know, it's
imaginative children.
Yeah, this is why we should let the children guide us. You know, because they have innocence throughout their entire heart. You know.
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's much innocence going on here, to be honest, but okay.
Bart sees a statue of Jedediah Springfield with no head. And then they all say,
how foreboding.
Wouldn't that be a cool idea to cut his head off? Yeah, that would be really cool. Then Bart's like, guys, come on, man. This guy's cool, man. He, founded our town and killed a bear.
Yeah.
And, you know, the fact that he killed a bear that's where the bullies draw the line. They're like, oh, we didn't realise that you loved him. Beat it, Simpson. Oh man, I thought
you were cool.
Bart then gets some amazing life advice from Homer. That being popular is the most important thing in the world. So
yeah, that's a very Homer comment. Yeah,
it is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that goes along with some other advice we've had on the show already. He has got some great advice in this first series. But that's it. But so that's it. I'm doing it. I'm gonna cut the head off of the statue. And he sneaks out during the middle of the night in a really cool ninja costume.
Indeed.
I like the sneaking out scene.
Yeah, it's pretty
Quite
cool.
funny.
I mean, he's trying to get the cat to shut.
Where he catches the cat, doesn't he? Treads on the tail, and then lets it out of the window.
Well, Homer's fallen asleep reading his bowling
ball. Yeah.
He's wanted to spend $150 on the stealth bomber.
Again, the pins don't know what hit them. And, yeah, you know, a kid without trouble's like a bowling ball without a liquid centre, you know? So, who ever heard of it, right? We get a good Godfather reference in this episode.
Right, with the Jedediah Springfield head.
Bart wakes up to the head in his bed next to him. Yeah. So I'm guessing that the Godfather's been out around about this point, right? Late 80s, I'm guessing.
Godfather 3 was out maybe 1990 or 89 or something.
Okay, so it's a fairly contemporary reference when they did it, but
I mean, the first one came out in the 70s.
Was it the 70s? Was it that long ago? Wow,
yeah,
okay, fair enough.
Early 70s, the first one.
Was it? Was that the one with the horse head in the bed? Or was that
yeah, pretty sure it was the first one. I only saw it once.
Fair enough.
Sorry to all Godfather fans. I only saw it once, but
yeah, it's one of those films I think is a little bit overrated, personally. The news breaks over the radio at breakfast. The entire town is completely devastated by this. Not one person in the entire town thinks that they don't really care, and it's like, okay, whatever. Typical Americans. Getting so obsessed about a statue. This includes the bullies, who've changed their mind post-Cloud Talk.
Just all talk, these bullies, aren't they? Yeah.
That was just Cloud Talk. That was, yeah. You know, like, you know, when you're sitting there and you're planning crimes, it's just Cloud Talk, isn't it? You know,
yeah.
We're really going to commit that crime.
I mean, to be fair, it's just a statue, you know.
Yeah.
That's what Bart says.
That's the statue. Yeah, but dude, this guy iced a bear with his bare hands, man.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. The Great Blizzard of '48 or whatever.
Yeah,
you're talking about.
He's like amazing. Yeah, but yeah, to me it's just a statue. But nope, apparently, it's pretty devastating to the entire town. Everybody, every single Springfield resident is completely crushed by this.
Yeah.
Americans, is this true?
I did like the gag in Moe's Tavern.
Okay, come on, everybody. We gotta get on with our lives. Let's try and put this tragedy behind us.
You're right, Mo. A beer, please, and make sure there's a head on it.
When they cut to Moe's Tavern, of course everyone's down, depressed about the hero Jedediah Springfield, and I think probably Barney orders a beer.
Well, first Mo says, "Come on, guys, we got to move on. We got to get past this."
Yeah.
And then it was Barney. Yeah.
He orders a beer, doesn't he? And beer has a head on it or something.
Make sure it has a head on it.
Make sure it has a head on it.
That's Mo starts breaking down into tears.
That's it. Yeah. But Moe's Tavern was looking a bit nicer, I noticed in this episode.
Still very purple.
Yeah, it's not the right colour yet, but I thought it looked pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, we only briefly saw it, so you know, small improvements, I guess.
Yeah, and Grandpa Simpson hopes they find who did it and cuts their head off.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Grandpa's
he's all for cutting his own grandson's head off.
He is up for a scuffle, man. Grandpa Abe Simpson, he's well up for it. I mean, you saw him during the war. He's like throwing himself onto grenades and
yeah, he's a bit wrong, isn't
he? He loves it. Bart starts hearing the voice of the head, hence the title of the episode.
Yeah, Telltale Head. Very good. Bart's descent into schizophrenia.
Yes,
This,
that's right. Yeah,
as part of the
we're following
episode.
this poor young boy's descent into madness.
Yeah,
That's what this.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, obviously a reference to Edgar Allan Poe's The Telltale Heart, which The Simpsons would also do another episode about in the future, actually about The Telltale Heart as well. White Smithers! White Smithers. Is this the first time we've seen White Smithers? Smithers is white now, he's not black anymore. Is this the first time we've seen it?
It might be.
I don't remember seeing White Smithers before. He's been black up to this point, I'm sure. And also, is this the first Sideshow Bob appearance?
And Krusty will send you a free slide whistle just like Sideshow Bob.
Krusty says, if you rat out whoever did it, on TV I might add. Apparently Krusty's a big, well, actually, we don't know if he's a big national celebrity anymore at this point, because later on...
Oh, he's huge in The Simpsons lore.
But later on in the Simpsons lore, so maybe in Springfield he's huge. Maybe he does it locally. But later on, like, when they do the whole Krusty retires and then comes back as a modern comedian thing, Can You Know Rule, that episode.
Right.
Like, Jay Leno thought he was dead. So, like, is he nationally big anymore, or is he locally big?
I wouldn't take Jay Leno's opinion for anything.
I mean...
Well, who's he? Who's that guy?
This was late 90s, early 2000s, Jay Leno. So how big was he at that point?
Pretty big.
Okay, yeah. So, but yeah, so on TV, Krusty says, if you know who did it, even if it's your mum and dad, rat them out, and you can get a free slide whistle.
Free slide whistle.
Like Sideshow Bob. So yeah, is that the first appearance of Sideshow Bob?
It might be, because I've got Sideshow Bob written down with exclamation mark on it.
Yeah,
which would imply that it might
so
well be the first appearance.
Sideshow Bob appearance.
His hair not quite as
proper
big
Sideshow
as
Bob yet. No, it looks more like a pineapple at the moment than a palm tree. But yeah, White Smithers and first Sideshow Bob appearance. Big things are happening in this episode right here. Bart decides that he's going to bury the head in the back garden, but he changes his mind.
Probably not the best place to bury it.
In his own back garden.
His own back garden.
I mean, I guess, but there's no one around, and maybe if it's buried for long enough, I mean, someone might dig up your garden eventually, but...
Plus, how big a hole could this young child realistically dig? And then... put that together.
I don't know. Someone will notice that there's a square cut out in their garden, though, you'd think, right?
Yeah.
But, I don't know. But, anyway.
I mean, when Time Team get over there and, dig it up, that's it. Game over.
While he was outside digging the hole, all the family's inside watching a documentary on Jedediah Springfield. Tom, what was Jedediah's full name?
Jedediah J. Springfield? I don't know.
Jedediah Obadiah Zachariah Jedediah Springfield.
As if I was going to remember that.
I knew that was the one I was going to catch you out on. You got me on the other two, but I got you on that one.
I mean, he did kill the bear with his bare hands.
That's B-A-R-E hands.
B-A-R-E hands, yes. Although the bear probably killed him.
Some recent scientific research has showed, yeah. Although that we know from a future episode that it didn't kill him.
Oh.
And he didn't fight it with his bare hands. It was already dead. He merely shot it.
Okay. And does he also like marrying cousins?
No. I mean, he might. I don't know. I mean, he's a pirate, isn't he? So
he's definitely not a traitor either.
He's definitely not a traitor. No.
You don't want to say anything bad about Jedediah Springfield in the Jedediah Springfield Museum.
Not in the museum, no.
Definitely you'll get banned for
You'll get banned.
You and your children.
And your children's children.
For 3 months.
I love that joke.
That's a great gag. I love that gag.
That's a great episode, that is, yeah. While they're all sitting down watching this documentary, Bart comes clean, walks into the room holding the head, and Homer gets initially furious.
I knew it all along!
Yeah. But after finding out it was his advice that led him down this path to this situation... Do you need to cough?
No, that's just Homer backing off.
Oh, right, yeah.
From
He eases off Bart and helps him to take the head back. No, come on, lay off the boy, Bart. You know, like...
I've pulled a few boners in my time.
During the walk back, they get accosted by the mob.
The angry mob, yes.
Yep, and we pick up right from the start of the episode again. This lynch mob is out on the streets, basically ready to kill anyone, and includes the entire town, basically. Everyone.
Yeah, so in that case, it's like a hell of a story for them to back off.
And then Bart starts to tell the story. We get it, we heard this part. So we then get the aforementioned speech before Bart places the head back and asks for forgiveness from Jedediah Springfield.
Yeah, and the town says, somebody says, I can't remember because I did write down. Krusty goes, I don't feel like killing anymore.
Yeah, it was Krusty. Yeah.
But that is not the most significant line of the ending.
Okay. What do you think?
I don't know how you've written down.
I don't know. Is yours a line by Homer or
no?
Is it a line by Smithers? Okay.
And by Mr. Burns, yes.
Yep.
Yes.
First gay Smithers, Tom?
This is our first hint, right?
I think definitely so. This is our first.
This is the most significant line, I think, in the whole of this episode.
Yep.
Look, it's glorious. It's beautiful, man. I love you, Smithers. The feeling is more than mutual, sir.
Was it I love you, Smithers?
I love you, Smithers. The feeling is more than mutual, sir.
Yeah, first gay Smithers. He's white and gay now. So there you go.
Yeah, I don't know how that went down in 1990.
I mean,
at the end of this episode,
earlier. Do you reckon they put that in because they were forced to put that speech in there somewhere?
I don't know, but I think when you look at like The Simpsons from early 90s, you know, it's obviously controversial. I think there's a lot of stuff in this episode which could be seen as controversial.
Yeah.
You know, whether it be bad words, nudity, blasphemy, kids stealing and sneaking into, you know, films or whatever.
They never get their comeuppance either, do they? The kids for stealing or anything. They never get their comeuppance.
Or just defaming the statue, an angry mob, and then of course this right at the end.
Yeah, homosexuality.
The homosexuality implied.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's very much implied, isn't it? So I think that for a lot of the early series, it's always kind of bubbling underneath the surface because they bring it up on the clip show, don't they? You know, like what's the deal with Smithers? You know, and then.
Well, he's a 28-year-old male. Yeah. Well, thanks for asking.
Yeah. So it's very much implied and it's kind of bubbling under the surface. I think it's later on where like we get to like the Malibu Stacy episode and stuff like that, where it starts becoming a little bit more
like
overt.
Right in your face, isn't it?
Yeah.
That time.
But I think early on it's very much like just slightly there. It's like you can deny it either way. You know, he could be just saying that no, I love you, man. You know, you're my absolute best friend. I love spending time with you. I have no sexual attraction to you whatsoever, but I love you, man. Or it could be homosexual, you know, like I have.
Yeah. I mean, this is the first series, and they're already hinting at it.
Yeah, So do you think that because they took away like one minority from him by making him black, do you think they gave him another minority by making him gay to compensate?
No, I don't think they go into the feelings at all. Do you think this was like their way of like they were forced to do the speech, right? You said about Bart. Having to do the speech. Is this their way of like we're gonna show you?
Yeah, I that's what I was saying.
We're gonna give you something to be angry about.
Yeah, I think that it's
homosexuality.
Yeah, like you know, oh well, yeah, you make us do this, well, we'll get something past the censors. Yeah, so that it kind of feels like that a little bit to me, but like because I don't know where this has come from all of a sudden. But then again, like I said before, these episodes were all released out of order. So maybe there's another one coming up where it's a little bit more subtle that was the first one. So then it kind of starts building up to it a little bit more. I don't know. But this one just kind of feels like it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, it does a bit, yeah. I mean, it made me go.
Yeah,
Yeah, it made me sit up and take notice. Yeah, a nice little hint of what's to come.
Very much so.
I think so. Nice cliffhanger.
And we end out the episode with Homer saying, "Just remember that not all mobs are usually this accommodating, because they forgive very, very easily."
Because Homer's used to dealing with angry mobs, maybe.
Yeah. They just all decide, no, that's fine. That's all good and dandy. He put the head back, so we can forgive him. Don't worry about it. It's okay. And then that rounds out the episode. Roll credits and we're done. You got anything else you wanted to mention at all, or?
No, I've got written down. It's quite a flat ending, really.
Apart from
all that,
the gay reveal.
Yeah. I mean, everything just goes back to normal, and then we're gonna
again
go to the next episode like this never happened.
It's very much the not serialized, episodic nature of 80s sitcom TV, isn't it? You know, like everything is always back to normal by the end of the episode. We're always back to the status quo again. Even if their whole life has been rip-roared right upside down, we always end up back where we started again, you know?
Yeah, so, I mean, you said obviously that the speech was put in.
Yeah.
But, you know, and I mean, a lot of shows at this time are kind of like similar, and they like educational or family viewing.
Family viewing, yeah.
Cosby Show, which is not family viewing now.
Well, I mean,
Mr. Rogers or whatever else, you know. And I think, you know, obviously shows like this would, you know, break the mold, sort of.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a lot more controversial, isn't it? But,
you know, The Simpsons, I always liked The Simpsons, but I always looked at it as a bit tame compared to, you know, South Park, when that came out.
Yeah, obviously.
But
yeah,
I think, you know, different times.
I don't think that's a fair comparison to make, really, is it, though?
I mean, they were the rivals, weren't they, in the late 90s?
I think that the better comparison is South Park and Family Guy, though, really, isn't it? I mean, I don't think it's fair to put The Simpsons up against something that A, was on a completely different network to begin with, B, came out at a much later time frame, you know, where we're very much into the whole Attitude Era kind of grunge.
I just said that because they were both at their peak.
Yeah.
At that time.
In the 90s, yeah. I mean, you've got to remember that South Park and this episode are 8 years apart. You know?
Yeah.
So that's nearly a decade.
But The Simpsons was, you know, controversial for its time. And
oh, yeah.
This episode is an indication of that.
I mean, all you got to realise is that, you know, Eat My Shorts was, like, there was outrage when that was first mentioned, you know.
Disgusting.
Like, yeah.
Getting someone to eat their shorts.
Exactly.
Without their permission.
Whereas now, if someone said that, you'd be like, what? What are you saying, you weirdo, you loser? Oh, my God.
It was the suck it of the early 90s.
Basically, yeah. But again, if anyone says suck it to you now, you'd be like,
what?
What? Grow up!
I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Like,
Against my will?
You wouldn't be offended by it now. You'd just be like, oh, really? Oh my God, you loser. You know? Like, so it's very much a product of its time, I would say. But, yeah, to me personally, the whole episode feels a bit hollow, to be honest with you. It doesn't, I mean, there are some good gags in it.
Yeah.
Like the Homer in church gag, like I said, is fantastic. I genuinely thought that came from a later series. When I realised it was this episode, I was like, oh, I love this joke. We got some ground shaking stuff, you know, like I said, you know, like we said, Gay Smithers. That was pretty groundbreaking, I would say. Lots of violence. So you say the bad guy of the episode is Bart, so he has his, you know, arc and comes back to, but
redeems himself.
Redemption arc, yeah. But I mean, the bullies, you know, they don't get any comeuppance for shoplifting. They don't get accosted. No. You don't see him getting arrested at the end or anything like that. You know, like, oh man, what? No, sorry, he doesn't sound like that in this episode, does he? Oh man, why did I have to steal those candy bars?
Yeah, I think they're just establishing them as bullies at the moment, aren't they? Just that's where they're going to keep them for now.
There is
pretty much for the rest of the Simpsons.
There is depth but I don't think that it's groundbreaking depth in this episode. Like, there's no B story again, for instance. So
no, it's all very focused on the star that is Bart Simpson.
Yeah, which is probably going to be the case for the first 2 series at least. I
mean, you kind of have Homer's little bits and bobs in here.
Yeah,
Homer. It's all linked to Bart, though.
Homer and Bart are definitely still the main guys, but this whole episode is basically just Bart with a couple of sprinklings of Homer in it, really. Marge is just there to facilitate annoyance, really, more than anything, I would say, isn't she? So, okay, so what would you... do I ask you your score first? Do I ask you... Oh, animation. What did you make of the animation?
It was fine, yeah. Pretty decent.
It looked pretty good in this episode, didn't it? There was a couple of weird angles and stuff like that.
I mean, there's nothing I really noticed that stood out as me as like dreadful or bad or anything like that.
No,
in terms of the animation,
it's still very old, isn't it? It's not clean, and I'm still waiting for like the where their jaws go in different directions when they're like like that. When they do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for some of them still. You don't really get them in the later episodes, do you? But the early ones, it's all very comical and like movements that aren't natural and stuff like that. So, where do you think this one falls in the series, do you reckon?
Oh boy. I don't know this time. We've done like 8 episodes now, right?
Yeah.
I mean, every episode since the first one, we keep bringing this up. There's no dog. Where's the dog?
That's why I think that maybe that one's supposed to go towards the end of this series.
Yeah, it must do, because we were like 7 episodes in and there's been no sign of this mutt, other than the first episode.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I reckon this is very later on in the series, because the animation is pretty decent. As I said, particularly in the most Tavern, I thought was looking pretty good in this episode.
I still think that this is quite early on.
Yeah?
But they've just had more time to work on the animation to make it look better.
White, as we said.
Oh, yeah, good point. Ooh. And there's more hints about the homosexuality, which you don't get in any of the early ones either, do you? The early ones, he's just Homer's boss, basically, isn't he? So, oh, good point, yeah. Maybe mid-series, maybe then? Because Marge and Lisa aren't fleshed out characters still. We don't have a B plot, which we did in not the previous episode, the episode before, obviously. I think this goes right around the same time as Call of the Simpsons, episode 7, the camping, the RV one.
Yeah, I know the episode, mate. Don't worry.
Yeah, the last one we did. Yeah, it was so long ago, I can't remember that title of it now. But yeah, I reckon it goes...
Does anyone remember episode titles of sitcoms?
I don't know.
Like Friends. It's the one where Ross and Rachel break up.
I think Friends, because...
Do you remember the title of these episodes?
I think Friends more so, because that was the whole thing, wasn't it? It was the one with,
that was
the one where.
Yeah.
So I think that people are a little bit more... But I mean, I don't know any Simpsons.
Like Homer at the Bat, off the top of my head.
Okay.
It's an episode title. But most of them, I'm like, I can't remember the title of the episode or whatever. It's the one where Homer goes to the Duff Brewery or whatever. I don't
know. So what do you give this one then?
I'll give it a boner.
A boner?
4 boners.
4 boners?
No.
Wow.
About 6 or 7.
Oh, that high. Okay.
It's a memorable episode.
I think it's very middle of the road. I'm probably going to go 5, maybe 5.5. There's a couple of good gags in it, but overall the story's not... It's the RV episode all over again, I mean, there are some good jokes, but genuinely not an episode I would probably go back and rewatch again,
No. Especially when you have to watch it 2 or 3 times for this podcast.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I don't really want to watch it.
I only watched it twice, thankfully, but...
I think it's at least 3 I've watched it. But, yeah, it's not one for repeat viewings.
No, it's a bit... To be fair though, there's only been one episode this whole series that I would probably rewatch again anyway. And that's
Bart the General.
No.
Monroe.
No, Moaning Lisa.
Moaning Lisa.
Just because of the B
Bleeding
plot.
Gums Murphy. Yes.
Just because of the B plot as well, man. Bleeding Gums Murphy's a great character, and the boxing video game is a great storyline.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But other than that, yeah, probably wouldn't recommend watching this again. So there we go. Well, thank you for joining me, Tom.
Thank you for joining me.
You're welcome. That's not your sign off, is it?
Is it not?
No.
What's my sign off, Richard?
Eat my shorts.
Eat my shorts. Eat all of my shirts.
Yes, that's all I'd eat off shirts. And yeah, because my sign off is good night, Springdon. There will be no encores, remember? It's been a long time since we've done this show, isn't it? It's difficult to... Yeah.
Absolutely.
But those are our sign-offs. So, yeah. Thanks for listening. Bye. See you again in 7 months.
He told me to burn things.
Thank you for listening. This has been a Rich Tea Entertainment production. If you've enjoyed what you've heard, then why not check out some of our other shows? Just search for Rich Tea Entertainment on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Play.